Hey, Mike, thanks for doing this.
Hey,
Hey, I'm curious just about your thoughts on Jamal Bayes, who is obviously the man of the hour here, but just really to try to put his career into some type of totality here, from last year being that pocket knife for you guys, this year at the start of the year having the slow start, but recently just coming on as an offensive player, which is something that we hadn't seen early in his career.
Well, he's been probably the most in the last 5 or 6 games, just as consistent as you can possibly get. And we've seen it in practice, and his confidence just keeps growing, and it's a lot of fun. And it started with us posting him, and then he started getting comfortable, and now he's shooting the ball at such a high clip. But I got to give him. I mean, the kid works. The kid's in the gym constantly. He wants to be great. He does the right thing all the time on and off the court, and it was just a matter of time. He's been, I think he had 14 or 15 points on 8 shots in last game. And this kid just, his teammates found him tonight. We were sharing the ball. It's been a different guy every night. And Jamal he was spectacular. And it wasn't just necessarily his scoring, Percy. He had a huge steal late in the game. He had 4 steals on the game. That's Jamal Bayes. Like he's a disruptor to the other team on the offense and defensive end.
Hey, and I'm sure that you're thrilled and ecstatic about winning these games, but you guys are doing it in a way that appears to be very uncharacteristic to Mike Hopkins basketball here, just in these shootouts here. Are you comfortable with this going forward on just leaning on your offense like this, or would you like to see more out of your defense, obviously?
I think we have to be – we just have to be we've got to be better. If we want to become a great team, we've got to become a better defensive team. That's the bottom line. The offenses, we're playing well right now. We've got a lot of confidence. We've simplified a lot of things. We've got a lot of guys that can really help us on the offensive end. On the defensive end, you're right, Percy. We just got to keep getting better. Tonight we tried something a little bit different in the second half, which I thought really helped. And being able to have a changeup and a fastball are going to be really, really good for us as we move forward. But with that, we changed 3 games ago. And so now it goes back to how much can they retain, and then how can they go out there and execute. Tonight in the second half, when we made the switch, they executed it, and we got some steals. We had 10 takeaways in the second half. We only had 1 in the first half. And so 10 takeaways is Washington basketball, and I think that's what helped us prevail in this game.
All right, cool. Hey, and if I can squeeze in one more,
Sure.
Just your thoughts on the gold unis here. Do you ever plan to like go back to anything else?
I didn't hear you, Percy. The gold uniform. The gold uniforms we're going to wear on the road as well. I'm kidding. But hey, gold is good. Gold is good, right? Gold is good. So, but great. That's funny. Thank you, Percy.
All right, thank you.
Go ahead, Lauren. Hi, Hop. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You kind of touched on this a little bit, but what do you think has really made the offense kind of hit its stride in these last few games?
Well, I think the guys have been working really, really hard. We've been shooting. These kids are getting up hundreds of shots in the afternoon even before practice. We've simplified our offense. I don't know why there's some kickback, so I apologize, Lauren. We've simplified our offense, which has allowed them to quit thinking and play. And like when you're thinking, you're not in flow, and it's simplified. The coaches have been working really hard every day on how we are in transition, how we are when we run sets. And so guys know now where they're getting their shots. We're more organized, and most importantly, guys are sharing the ball. We have a term, we say good to great. You might have a good shot, but you might have to change it for a great shot. And you see the better ball movement. You see guys trusting in each other better, and the result has been better shooting for sure.
And then you mentioned Jamal Bayes' steal at the end there. You guys came up with a couple big defensive possessions there at the end. How big were those just to seal that victory like that?
Well, Lauren, I think that's the point of today is in a couple of the other games that we played earlier in the year, where we were in close games, we couldn't get a defensive stop. Today, we had 2 or 3 defensive stops near the end, which were game changers. And that's guys being locked in, focused, and understanding where Utah was trying to score and what they were trying to do. And, again, we talk about Jamal Bayes' offensive prowess tonight in the last 5 or 6 games, but his defense tonight I thought was huge.
All right, Andy Yamashita, go ahead, Andy.
Hi, Hop. Thanks for the time today.
Hey, Andy, thank you.
You guys had 28 points off of turnovers. Just how massive is that, both for your transition game and for your offense?
Oh gosh, it's huge. Our activity on the defensive end. I mean, that's how we got into transition. Rebounding and then turning teams over. And when we're active like that, that's what happens. And we were able to get in transition and get some good looks, especially late in this game, and it was all due to our to really good defense. And so, anytime you can get points where the defense isn't set is huge for us.
You guys also got to the line 10 more times than Utah. Was attacking the rim the game plan, or was that just kind of taking what they were giving you?
We're taking. We got in the paint off the bounce a lot. We didn't feel like they've got a really good team, and they play really good team defense. We felt if we could, attack closeouts by good ball movement, we could get in the lane. Marcus got in the lane early. Quad A did. Jamal Bayes did. Eric Stevenson did. And we're starting to post more our guards. And so that's been a big part of our offensive success as well. The free throw line, we've been losing that battle all year. I thought tonight was one of the biggest keys to the game. And we didn't shoot great. In the first half when we got down 12, it was a lot to do. We missed a couple of 1-on-1s and then 4 or 5 foul shots. So, that foul line piece is not talked about a lot, Andy. So that's a great question, because that's the battle that we've been losing. And the times that we've lost to Utah, that's where there's been a huge discrepancy. And tonight we did a good job of playing without fouling.
Awesome. Thanks, Hop.
Chris Fetters, go ahead, Chris.
Hey, Hop, appreciate you doing this.
Hey, Chris.
Was just curious, when you talk about that second half tweak to the defense, was there a direct correlation between what you guys did there and the takeaways that you saw based on?
I think so, for sure.
Yeah.
I think for sure. They, Utah got really comfortable. Utah, they have got a great coach, and they move the ball. They've got a really smart team. They're the type of team, I forget what they're averaging, 15, 16 assists a game. They don't turn it over. Cerebral ball movement, player movement, and they were slicing and dicing us. And I thought the change in the second half was big. It was big, and it forced us. We got 10 takeaways in the second half, and had 11 on the game, only 1 in the first half. So definitely defense is where we got to hang our hat. We got to keep getting better offensively. We fixed that problem for the most part. Now we've just got to keep getting better on the defensive end.
Also curious what you think back-to-back wins and the way that you've gotten them will do for the mentality and confidence of this particular group.
Well, the one thing I've learned, Chris, is it's like, whatever you're telling your team, if they believe it, they're going to be really good at it. And these guys have grown. They've become resilient. Before we played this game, if you do a Ken Palm, we played the 8th hardest schedule in America, and a lot on the road. And these guys have been resilient. It's easy to get down and to get frustrated, and they've stayed positive. They've had good practices. Our leadership internally has improved with some players, and that builds confidence when you see the result. Whenever you're teaching somebody something, if it's math or whatever, if you give them the skills and then they start working at it and then they start seeing the results, when the belief really starts to rise. And these guys, and we didn't play great. We didn't play great against Colorado. We didn't play great against Utah, but we were making great plays down the stretch that need to be made to win games. And that's a sign of a tougher team, and that's where we're becoming. And hopefully we can just keep doing it.
Thanks, Hop.
You're welcome.
Dan Rayleigh, go ahead, Dan.
Coach, Jamal's been on kind of a run for a couple of weeks, 3 weeks now, I think. And we asked him early on, what had been the holdup with him. And he said he'd kind of lost his confidence from his high school days. could you see one thing that helped him get it back? Did you talk to him about it, that he was a great player, that, he should believe that?
Our coaches do a great job. At the beginning of the year, there was a lot of lineup changes and different things like that. Listen, Jamal Bayes is an elite player. He's got a lot of experience, and we feel like as we move forward, that our upperclassmen we're going to have to step up if we were going to have a great season. And we put a belief in Jamal. He's been putting in the work. I can't stress the work enough. He's just worked. He's worked, and he's worked. I feel like the whole change is when we started posting him up, and he started getting some stuff easy. And then he started seeing his 3-point shot fall. And you see him now with pull-ups. You see him scoring at all 3 different levels right now. You see his finishes become stronger. And, listen, everybody's different. Everybody gets that, I don't know, mojo, whatever it is. And he's just, that's what happens in development, right? You don't know if it's going to be freshman year or sophomore. And you just see this guy oozing with confidence. And the thing that I was so proud of him tonight is he just kept playing the right way. He didn't force anything. He just took what the defense gave him. And, just so proud of him and happy for him. But I'm going to keep saying this, Dan, on this. His defense is what's, what makes him so much, even just so much more talented, because he does so many things. He impacts the game in multiple ways. And tonight it was just an incredible offensive night.
Maz Vida, go ahead, Maz.
Hey, Hop. In the last minute, last 117, you went 7-0, right? You went a 7-0 run. What can you say about this team trusting the process and being patient defensively, and then how that's slowly moving offensive wise?
It's hard. We use the word poise a lot. You'll see us look so good, and then you'll see us rushing, and that's on both ends. And when it becomes easy is when the game slows down for you. That's when the great ones become great. And I feel like we're just through that experience is that slowing down and, trusting the process. And, listen, and guys step up and make plays. Great players, players win the games. And Jamal Bayes tonight hits the big 3, down 3. And then we get 2 great stops that gets us in transition. And or rebound, you get the stop and the rebound, and that's how you win games. And but Jamal Bayes making shots. We talked about earlier when we were losing some games. We were talking about, gosh, we were getting open shots, we just weren't making them. Now we're making them, and you can see the difference. You can see the confidence, and just happy that they're sticking to the process and they're believing.